The first Advent candle is the candle of the prophets, people who proclaim messages from God about the way the world could be. It stands for hope.
God is always offering us hope. You might remember from the Bible how God gave Abraham and Sarah hope, or how God gave hope to the prophets even when things seemed terrible. God gave hope to Jesus, which in turn gives us hope because of the ways he loved others. The Bible says, "The light of hope shines in the night, and the night shall never overcome it."
And it's dedicated to all children, our hope, and to those who would keep that hope. And hope is our word of the day today. Jose and Maria worked on farms. They went from place to place looking for work. When the harvest was over in the north, Jose said, "We must move south." It was a bad time to travel. Their car was very old, and Maria was going to have a baby. They drove south. Their trip was very long. Maria was sure that the baby would be born soon. They had to find a place to stay. Maria was tired, and Jose tried to find a room for them, but everywhere he was told the same thing: there is no room. At last, at a gas station, an attendant made room for them. "You can stay here," he said. Jose made Maria comfortable in the garage. Some traveling musicians helped them. As the sun was rising, the baby was born. The musicians sang and played in joyous celebration. Some cowboys heard the music coming over the lonely land and joined the little family and their friends. Look at that beautiful sunset. The news spread. People came with gifts of food. They sang and they danced. Even travelers stopping for gas joined the party. And when they told others of the new baby in the garage, more people came. Many wondered that the birth of one baby should bring such joy. The crowds began to worry. The local police chief, who didn't understand, he ordered the arrest of Jose and Maria for disturbing the peace. But one of his deputies warned Jose. Jose thanked him and prepared to leave before sunrise. Their car could go no farther. A truck driver offered to drive them across the border. When they were ready to leave, the musicians asked Jose, "When will we see you again? Will you ever come back?" "Yes," said Jose. "When this trouble has passed, we will come back and be among our friends." As the new day dawned, Jose and Maria and the child rode away. Their new friends waved and shouted goodbye, but they knew that they would all meet again. The end.
I have a story that I would like to read, and the reason that I'm reading this story is it's very basic. Today we're honoring and celebrating hope, and hope and optimism get confused sometimes. Optimism is that you expect that your situation will be pretty good in the future. Hope is the belief that what things are right now, that they must change, and that God will be with you as you seek to make the best changes you can make in the world. What we call the status quo, how things are, it cannot stand. And that happens throughout the Bible. We talked about Abraham and Sarah earlier. Abraham and Sarah were not feeling good, and God gave them hope by saying things are going to get better. Things were bad for the prophets, and God said things are going to get better. And they believed and they hoped. So I want to read you one of my favorite stories about hope, which says that things as they are, they cannot stand. And that story is Yertle the Turtle. On the faraway island of Salamasond, Yertle the Turtle was king of the pond. A nice little pond. It was clean. It was neat. The water was warm. There was plenty to eat. The turtles had everything turtles might need, and they were all happy, quite happy indeed. They were until Yertle, the king of them all, decided the kingdom he ruled was too small. "I'm ruler," said Yertle, "of all that I see, but I don't see enough. That's the trouble with me. With this stone for a throne, I look down on my pond, but I cannot look down on the places beyond. This throne that I sit on is too low down. It ought to be higher," he said with a frown. "If I could sit high, how much greater I'd be. What a king, I'd be ruler of all that I could see." But as Yertle the Turtle King lifted his hand and started to order and give the command, that plain little turtle below in the stack, that plain little turtle whose name was just Mac, decided he'd taken enough. And he had. And that plain little lad got a little bit mad. And that plain little Mac did a plain little thing. He burped. And his burp shook the throne of the king. And Yertle the Turtle, the king of the trees and king of the air and the birds and the bees, the king of a house and a cow and a mule, well, that was the end of the Turtle King's rule. For Yertle, the king of all Salamasond, fell off his high throne and fell plonk into the pond. And today, the great Yertle, that marvelous he, is king of the mud. That's all he can see. And the turtles, of course, all the turtles are free as turtles, and maybe all creatures should be.